when we had no choice but to host tennis at hotel facilities throughout the island. And that in itself, even though there was no intentional perception of exclusivity for the sport, it existed. It was there. A lot of people didn't feel welcome or able to come into the, to just come into the hotel facilities and play tennis. And there was this air of exclusivity and bourgeoisism about the sport, to coin a term. Ever since we've had this home for tennis on the island, this local home at the National Tennis Center, it's just completely opened up the doors to tennis from a psychological perspective to many, many people. Many more people are comfortable embracing tennis as a wonderful sport that it is. And we've seen an exponential growth in the amount of local participation in the schools and in the public, and the enthusiasm for the game is just amazing. So the opening of this National Tennis Center has just had an amazing impact on the sport of tennis in St. Lucia. It's a starting point. It's sort of a launching pad for a program of growth and development of tennis throughout the island. The plan is to grow tennis and get it out into as many communities as possible, get as many kids exposed to the opportunities that tennis brings. And the guys down in the gardens are doing a fine job down there with the Tiger Tennis Group. And as the schools program grows, many of the sport is spilling out onto the multi-purpose facilities attached to those schools and in the communities themselves. So the next push now is to get out into the southern communities and really keep going with the momentum that we have.
This is definitely has been quite a journey for Northwestern tennis. Yes, indeed, it's the 5th year of the Kia National Tennis Independence Tournament, and we have seen immense growth with the tournament and the sport itself. But particularly in the tournament, the participation has grown. I couldn't tell you exactly by what percentage, but because we are now in the 5th year, people are now looking forward to this on their calendar. They know it's coming up, they know what it means, they know that they can get ranking and so forth with regard to their placement in the sport. So it has become a notable tournament now for the calendar of events with regard to the sport in St. Lucia. So Northwest and Kia are very proud to have contributed that to the sport. And personally, I wouldn't dare to say that I could tell you what measure of excellence has risen because of Kia's involvement, but I can tell you from my conversations with the management team of the National Tennis Center and the folks here with the St. Lucia Tennis Association. They're so enthusiastic and thrilled to be working with us, and they're so involved in the sport, and they place such a great importance in our involvement. And I can see every year how much enthusiasm from everybody who's involved, particularly the players. I can safely say yes, that there has been a growth in the sport, and that from the discussions about taking the sport to outer communities and bringing more people into the fore, looking forward to bettering the tournament, and every year I see greater involvement. This year we had an opening ceremony with more pomp and pageantry and players being really involved in the whole process. People are singing the national anthem and doing a national pledge, and one kid came up and read a poem. These seems like small things, but on the larger scope of the whole event, it just means that they place a greater importance to and relevance to the fact that this is one of the events in their calendar. So Northwest and Kia couldn't be more proud to be involved.
We spoke about the cost of getting started in tennis for young people, and I just said that that's not as high as most people would perceive, but where the costs come in would be in putting on an event of this nature. And the St. Lucia Tennis Association is a non-profit association, and without the support of corporate partners like Northwest, we simply would not have the means to put on events like this, and events like this are essential. This particular tournament, for the 5th year in a row, has become one of the major stars in our yearly calendar. And without corporate partners and the support of people who want to give back and participate in acts of good corporate citizenry and give back to the nation, it would be impossible to grow the sport of tennis the way that we have. less than most people would perceive, particularly for young kids starting out and being exposed to the program. For example, the schools program is absolutely free. There's no charge to children getting involved in tennis through the government's school sports program. We also have a grassroots program here where kids are given tennis lessons, instructions and practice here free of charge, and through donations from the International Tennis Federation and other programs facilitated through the St. Lucia Olympic Committee and others. As long as we keep up a tangible, real and dynamic grassroots program, we receive donations of equipment, tennis rackets and balls and whatnot that we use. So we supply the equipment to the kids. So to start in tennis, there's almost no cost. At the kid grassroots levels, shoes, short, and now for adults wanting to join the sport, then there's a membership fees for the National Tennis Center. The person would have to buy the tennis rackets. But to get started in the sport, you want to get your kids started, come on in, don't be afraid of the cost.
Whether or not Northwest will seek out to sponsor an individual to represent, that's something we certainly would entertain. However, to date we have not done so because of many of the participants, particularly the females who have actually won the tournament. In the last couple of years, I believe all winners of the female or women's singles champion have been eligible to receive any cash donation because it would affect, they were so young when they won, it would affect their chances for scholarships moving forward to get into universities and things like that. So the last thing we would want to do is to try to honor somebody or reward somebody and at the same time impede their progress in other facets of their life. The important thing to know is we are not the impetus here is not to develop or encourage people to become professional tennis players necessarily. This is to develop greater, well-rounded young men and women in St. Lucia through sport. That's really what our involvement in the whole event is all about. And I think that's what most sport is. Few students who play cricket for their school or whatever are going to go on to represent the West Indies or even St. Lucia. But through sport, they will go on into whatever career they are going to finally settle in, knowing how to compete, knowing how to work well with others, knowing how well to respect someone else's opinion and work well with them. Just well-rounded individuals, and that's really what we're investing in here. So we really want to invest in all the kids and everyone, whether we single someone out as a spokesperson or invest in them in some way or another. That is something we haven't fully explored. We wouldn't ever reject it, but right now we're very comfortable with the fact that we want to make sure that everyone involved in the sport, everyone involved in the tournament gets a chance to experience a high level of competitiveness, a high level of an experience that will take them forward in the sport.
The element of competition is a critical part of developing your skills in the sport. It gives you the ability to test yourself under the stress of competition, to see how much you've improved. It can be a measure for yourself in terms of your own progress. And for the serious players who want to progress to the higher levels or possibly head into an elite level of playing, a balance between competition, tournament play, and training is an essential part of development. The challenge that remains is in getting the public at large to recognize that tennis has become very much a grassroots sport in St. Lucia. We need people to come out and see these tournaments, come out and watch the matches being played, see the number of local children that are participating, so that we can change the lingering perception about tennis's relevance in St. Lucian society. So we really need more help from the media We need them to partner with us a little bit more. They've been fantastic up to this point, but we need the media to sort of see itself as a partner with us in the growth of the sport. Get it out there, get it in the papers, come out and cover the matches. See it as tennis news. This is an independence tournament, so get out there, cover it, and give these kids and the sponsors of the event the exposure that they deserve.
Hi, my name's Gary. I'm from Scotland. I was here for my wedding. I got married yesterday. Couldn't have asked for a more perfect, beautiful place to be. The island's beautiful. The drink's free, and the hotel is fantastic. Chose St. Lucia to get married because I've never been to the Caribbean. It was either here or Dominican, and I told that St. Lucia was a far nicer place, so I went with that, and I couldn't have been more happier. I'm not disappointed in any way at all. Beautiful place.
Unsurpassed natural beauty. A warm welcome from the moment you arrive. Adventure and romance at every turn. A spectacular variety of accommodations. Cuisine you will savor and remember. Call it glorious. Call it sublime. Call it rapturous. Call it yours. Come and discover the wonders of St. Lucia. Open your eyes to St. Lucia and open your soul to peace, love, joy, unsurpassed natural beauty. All the things our hearts most long for converge here in the southeastern Caribbean Sea. Call it glorious, call it sublime, call it rapturous, call it yours. This is one of the lushest Caribbean islands, spellbinding, romantic, like no other. The majestic twin pitons, dense rainforests, dreamy coves, ribbons of sandy beach, idyllic waterfalls. Open your eyes, open your heart and soul to the wonders of St. Lucia.